watching this on a Sunday, but we are recording this Saturday night. Bale, kahapon. If you're watching this right now. Kumusta Daren? Anong balita?
O naman, ganito, lockdown na naman tayo. Tumaas na naman yung kaso. Medyo syempre nakaka-depress kahit papaano kasi ang dami nating family members this time na nagkasakit, 'di ba? Mas parang dumami talaga. Although sabi nga nila mas mild yung symptoms this time, sana totoo. Pero medyo nakakatakot lang na marami tayong nakita na almost kasi dati 'di ba parang hindi naman gano'n karami, ngayon talaga marami. Na parang
Ito
it's just
pinakamarami, no?
ito yung pinakamarami na it's just around every corner, parang gano'n. Pero yun nga, sabi nila na dahil maraming nagkaroon na talaga this time tapos hindi nga siya gano'n ka-mild, hindi siya gano'n ka-severe, so hoping na after this wave, medyo mabibuild na yung antibodies ng tao. Kumbaga forced na magkaroon tayo ng antibodies. And just hopefully na walang mga mamamatay sa wave na to. Yun lang naman di ba? Parang if it's just a sickness, okay lang. Pero the fact that people die is really sad. Yun lang. So
It is not unexpected, di ba? It's not because it was the holidays, family reunion, gatherings. Wala naman sinisisi. Anyway, but here's the thing. Galing lang akong show, Daren. A few days ago, one of the bands that was supposed to play a show backed out because some of them tested positive. So they called my band, Ultra Combo, if we can sub. And so we agreed and we got tested. Negative kami. Except for si Paolo Agudelo, who plays guitar for Ultra. Bago pa man lang i-test, sabi niya, naku, may positive sa bahay. So sabi niya, I can't do it. So we called Kai Unasan Del Rio, wife of Echo. And she said yes, she got tested negative a day later. So we rehearsed Friday for the show on Saturday, which is earlier today. It's an online private corporate show. Tapos, last night at midnight, we got a call from management, from Superstar, sabi. The other band who's supposed to play is not feeling well. So they canceled and asked if we can play 2 sets. So we didn't have time. Nag-practice kami backstage like 30 minutes right before sound check. Kanina with Kai, because Kai doesn't know like enough songs na pang 2 sets, diba? So we prepared another set, practice backstage. Dala ni Buddy yung duende, which is super cool. And then I had a little amp, I have a little Roland amp. Sinaksak yung keyboard ni Kai, and then we proceeded to practice. So we played for 2 bands today. Yun lang. Tapos after the set, may antigen test. So, astig. Yun lang. I'm just,
Kamusta naman yung experience
grateful.
na nagigig na yun nga, medyo may ganitong pangyayari? May kaba ba yun? Or bala
like I said previously, parang I just wanna, diba, parang live with the pandemic in mind. Doing all the necessary precautions and masks and yung lahat. Pagpasok mo pa lang may whatever, tests and all. Kung magkasakit, wala na lang sisihan, 'di ba? Or pag nagkasakit, quarantine ka na lang, ganun. Parang pero ayoko na matakot, 'di ba? Parang so hindi na ako masyadong natatakot. Mas nag-ingat dahil mas nakakahawa yung Omicron, pero ayoko na matakot. So hindi naman ako natakot. Tumugtog lang kami. Parang normal.
Pero actually, yun nga, naisip ko parang ganun na nga, parang yung more of yung stigma yung nakakainis about it, di ba? Hindi ba? Na parang, bakit may stigma kung nagka-COVID ka? Di ba?
Hindi ko
Bakit
naman
may
naisip
ganun?
na may stigma.
Meron talaga. Tapos merong Meron pa ako nakitang parang meme or hindi man meme, parang it's a post the other day na parang if you get COVID, parang okay lang yan. Hindi ka parang, it's not parang isa-shun ka or i-outcast ka. Parang naging leprosy siya eh. Di ba dati nung biblical times na kung may leprosy, kailangan mo paalisin yung leper. Parang ganun na, yun nga, sabi na parang, patest ka lang ulit a few days after today and then it will become negative eventually. So parang, yun nga, so I guess, yung stigma sana rin mawala for the people who test positive, 'di ba? And then kasi mag-isolate lang naman sila and then they can get well tapos reintegrate na back to society, 'di ba?
Mm. Hindi ko naman na-feel yung stigma with, with our friends. Uy, nag-aaway yung dogs. Naglalaro. In other news, Sandwich is releasing two singles from the December 2019 recordings. Ayun. That's what we've been doing nung December. Parang preparing the mixes of the two songs. And then, yung in-announce ko last time, yung si Direk Juno, di ba, may benefit for
Yeah.
Odette. Naka-resched because of Omicron. So, stand by for that. And then, ikaw, ano napanood mo recently?
Meron akong narinig na hindi ko pa siya natapos pero I am watching this movie. Narinig ko na-recommend lang ni Joe Rogan. It's about, yung title niya Searching for Sugar Man. So, yung Sugar Man, pero hindi talaga Sugar Man pala yung pangalan niya. Naging ganun na lang kasi parang parang hindi siya sobrang sumikat talaga internationally. Pero sa South Africa, parang sobrang sikat siya na musician. So, yung dude na to, hindi akala nila nag-suicide na ganyan. Pero yung pala, hindi lang niya alam na nag-hit siya sobra dito sa country na to. So from there, tapos nandun pa lang ako, tapos it will ang na-spoil na konti ni Joe Rogan, pero yun nga, magsabi na lang ako konting spoiler, pero parang you will get to enjoy na parang, okay pala dito, pwede ako mag-tour dito, ganun. So feel good, di ba, na ang galing ng ganun, no? Wala lang.
Parang nakita ko yan sa YouTube eh.
Baka.
Nahanap siya sa ibang bansa
Oo, akala nila
na regular
nag-suicide.
job na, 'di ba?
Wala, regular
Maganda
job
yan.
lang.
Saan mo pinapanood? Hanapin ko nga.
Ayoko i-promote syempre pero ang alam ko sa Amazon pero you can
Okay,
get it
okay.
through
May
illegal
Amazon Prime naman
means.
ako eh. So, hanapin ko.
Oo,
Hanapin
pero
ko
you
sa
can get
Amazon
it
Prime.
through illegal means.
Ako naman na pinapanood ko sa HBO,
Oo.
Station 11.
Hmm.
Maganda rin. Parang post-apocalyptic na parang pinaghalo ang virus tsaka Lost. Anyway, magulo. Magulo yung description ko. Pero medyo yan yung pinagkakaabalahan ko every night.
Astig.
Anong mga pinakinggan mo as of late na bago?
Merong bagong Weekend na album tsaka yung Gana. Yung
Maganda.
maganda. Yung Weekend di ko pa natapos pero yung Gana almost tapos na ako. Pero
Anong
maganda.
spelling nung Gana?
Gunna. Gana.
Gana. Kasi pwede siyang Ghana eh,
Or
Gana.
or
The
or
country.
or
Diba? The country.
Gonpa. Gonea.
Oh, Gonna pwede din. So it's
Gana.
Guna. Gana.
Parang gunner.
Hanapin ko yan.
Maganda.
Ako
Marami
naman,
siyang features. Sorry.
hip-hop ba yun?
Yes.
Si Jigger, tinext ako kahapon.
Hmm.
Sabi niya, Rayms, pakinggan mo to. Tapos sinend niya lang. Sa YouTube ko lang nakita eh. Burzagom.
Ano yun?
Local.
Wow.
Local na lo-fi, na medyo political, na medyo electronic. Basta type na type ko. Hindi ko alam. I'm sure I've met some of them. Dalawang tao. Tapos, they probably played in, the indie bars pre-pandemic. Maybe I know them, pero so far, mahina ako sa research eh.
Parang Gomburza yung name nila.
Parang Gomburza. Yung tatlong pare. Pero Burzagom. nasa YouTube. Trip na trip ko lang. Matitripan mo to, Daren. Parang in my mind parang pinaghalong radioactive sago na pavement at pedicab.
Mm.
Pero of course, hindi yun yung tunog. Pero yun lang yung closest description ko. It's lo-fi, it's funny, it's political, it's medyo electronic. So, yun lang. Tapos, January 1, may ni-record kami ni Shinji.
Wow.
Takara Mono. Yung, di ba, pag every first day of the year, nagyayaya si Shinji mag-record ng something. So, yun yung bago. Nilabas ko sa YouTube. Yun. Okay, let's go to questions.
Sige. Questions. Okay, so galing to sa episode ni Ian. So, okay, from OK Coco. Happy New Year. Excuse me. Happy New Year, Sir Rayms and Sir Daren. Any advice po for releasing music and getting yourself out there as an artist? Thank you, huge fan of the podcast.
Ikaw muna.
Parang I guess sa akin, yun nga, syempre, first and foremost, kailangan parang, kumbaga, syempre, lahat tayo may reference track. Tapos yung reference track, usually, nandun ka, di ba? Pero on the other, kasi feeling ko naman, parang lahat tayo medyo alam na rin yun to some extent, na parang, kung gagawa ka ng something na gandahan mo, galingan mo, di ba? Pero kumbaga, like if he or she is asking sa, kumbaga, releasing music, maganda na yung music, tapos getting yourself out there as an artist. Parang feeling ko may halo ng swerte and yun nga sabi nila yung opportunity is when preparation and luck parang nag-meet sila, diba? Parang ganun. So, yun nga, syempre, hindi guaranteed talaga na lahat ng artist will make it or will be there, diba? Pero, yun, I mean, yung importante is you make it for the sake of making it rather than making it para lang may ma-achieve ka na certain status or recognition. Yun. So, I guess yun yung ganun. So, yun yung sa akin na if you're gonna base yung making it or parang being known or parang, ano ba yun sa question, like getting yourself out there, yun na yun, diba? Like, it's finding your community, sino ba yung mga mahilig rin sa fellow genre mo, diba? Rather than getting out there, meaning nasa mix ka or nasa MTV.
I agree.
Sorry, mahaba yung sagot ko.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
It makes a lot of sense. Parang, ako naman, I just keep releasing things. Sometimes randomly. Parang, like I said, Takaramono, parang we just released it. Parang the next day, ganon, or 2 days later. But some releases go through management and record companies, 'di ba? Like Sandwich and Pedicab. Some indie releases go through lockdown, mas mabilis. It can be released in a week but yun nga, hit or miss, 'di ba? Parang of 100 things I probably release, 1 or 2 lang yung mapapansin, 'di ba? But personally, I don't really care, 'di ba? Parang pag inisip ko kasi yung papansinin pa, 'di ba? Parang mabigat pa 'yun. Kung ilan yung magla-likes tsaka or whatever. Nagugulat din ako sa mga nagugustuhan ng tao, 'di ba? I can never, parang replicate it. Parang,
Tama.
uy, nagustuhan nyo yan? Yung ganun. Or yung minsan, but every time we make something, we feel like it's the best thing ever. Di
Yeah.
ba? Parang,
Oh.
we've done some work together. Tapos parang, this is the greatest thing. Di
Oh.
ba? And I think, if you want to get yourself out there, you got to find your tribe. I think that's very important. Parang if you're with the R&B people, you gotta, find your tribe. With the hip-hop community, tama-tama, sa guest natin, mga kausap natin, iba rin yun, di ba? The indie rock community, the good thing now is you can easily find it online, di ba? Parang active ulit ang Electronica Manila because of, Synthramuros, di ba? Which was rescheduled as well. Dapat sa 29. Pero because of Omicron, it was rescheduled. Okay, next question.
Sige, next question. From Calvin Butuyan. Good day off stage. My question is there a best band breakup? Like how Rage Against the Machine gave birth to Audio Slave, or maybe E-Heads to Cambio or Sandwich, or Nirvana to Foo Fighters. So, yun, ano yung best band breakup for you? Or parang members that didn't make it siguro?
Ikaw?
Parang sa akin parang wala akong maisip na kasi medyo nabanggit na niya na yung breakup mismo parang na ano na na nasabi na niya na parang Rage Against the Machine tsaka yung ano. So parang naisip ko siguro yung masakan yung mas member na didn't make it tapos or formed a member from close to the band na formed another band of their own, parang ganun. So siguro sa akin more of yung yung sa Perfect Circle, 'di ba, na yung si
Tool.
Maynard Keenan, oo. Tapos yung guitar tech ng Tool, gumawa sila ng sarili nila. Not necessarily it meant the breakup of Tool, pero siguro dati mas may chance na mag-break up yung band na una dahil doon. Pero yun nga, dahil game siya, nagkaroon ng Perfect Circle na sobrang ganda. Diba?
Maganda yung question. Right at the moment, I can think of 2 bands off the top of my head. Machine Gun Poetry broke up, I don't know for whatever reason, and became Slapshot.
Okay. Astig
Okay.
yun.
And then, sa international naman, Uncle Tupelo, from the ashes of Uncle Tupelo, lumabas yung Wilco eh. Which is mas, sikat na yung Uncle Tupelo, pero mas
Sikat
naging...
yung Uncle Tupelo. They made the rounds na rin. Hindi ko pa kasi narinig yun eh. Yung
Hindi, tinry ko, baliktad ko na pinakinggan eh, kasi fan ako ng Wilco. So pinakinggan ko, hindi ako masyadong fan. Masyadong country for me. Masyadong American country. Pero mas experimental indie rock / country yung Wilco. So we're very big fans of Wilco. So yun, off the top of my head, yung 2 bands na yun na naisip ko. Wala maisip pa at the
Meron
moment.
akong naisip yata isa pa.
Sige.
Yung, di ba yung Yardbirds dati?
Yes! Became...
na parang tatlo dun yung Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, saka Clapton umalis dun eh. So,
yes, so
buti na
tatlong
lang
bands
di
na yun,
sila...
naging Led Zepp,
Oo,
naging
diba?
Eric Clapton band, saka naging
Jeff Beck.
Nama.
Buti na lang di sila nagstay sa
Maganda yun.
Yardbirds.
From the Yardbirds, ano? May isa pa ba? O tatlo lang sila?
Tatlo. Parang basta
Tatlo lang.
maraming magagaling. Bakit nga maganon yung Yardbirds, no?
Na dumaan sa Yardbirds, no?
Oo.
Maganda yon.
May question ako. Gusto mo ba maging band na known na maraming dumaan sa'yo na magaling? Or walang masyadong kilala pero kilala kayo as a band?
Ang hirap. Wala akong gusto pareho.
Anyway, sige, next na. Andiyan na yata yung guest natin.
Sige, isa pang question.
Wala, ano, yun na yun. Yun na yung question.
Okay, wait. Meron akong announcement. Hanapin ko lang. Para sa mga kababayan ko. Ayan. Yung kapatid ko, si Coach Don, meron siyang sinimulan community exercise. Parang they have a 1 kilometer loop sa may simbahan. Tapos pwede kang tumakbo, mag-jogging, maglakad, mag-bike. Pero 2 hours.
Wow.
Every month yata. So the next schedule is on January 14, Friday, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Ang title, Papawis. Yun lang, para lang magsisimula siya ng health, parang ganon. Community ganyan, Papawis. Community Papawis. Gawan ko siyang poster bukas. Sige, yung next guest natin, paano mo siya kilala? Ikaw muna.
Nakilala ko through you. One of the best lyricists and rappers that I've seen, perform, and heard. Ikaw.
Okay. Our next guest is also a member of the hip hop group Miscellaneous, which is also under lockdown, under Jigger management. And we used to play with them. Tapos, kami ni Mon, Punsalan, of Team Manila, nagbabay kami minsan, sabi namin. Nagbabasagan lang kami ng mga, sabi, but yung mga, at the time, sabi namin, but lahat ng gusto nating rapper, hindi natin gusto yung beats. Lahat ng gusto natin beat makers, hindi natin gusto yung mga nilalagay nilang rapper. Yun yung premise nung basagan namin. Tapos sabi namin, parang, alam mo na, gumawa lang tayong beats, Mon. So siya, interesado siya sa MPC at the time. Bumili siya MPC, tapos nagsimula kami gumawa ng beats. Tapos, pinamigay namin yung beats. Siya namili ng rappers. Binigay niya sa iba-ibang rappers. Siguro mga 10 rapper yung binigyan niya. Kasama dyan si Switch, yung guest natin ngayon. Tapos, after a few weeks, sabi ko, Man, may bumalik na, sabi nila, gagawan daw nila yung beats, right? Tapos, ang bumalik lang, si Switch lang. Bumalik siya with 10 songs.
Wow.
sa 10 or more. Basta yung buong, sinulatan niya lahat ng beats. Kasi binigay lang namin ni Mon sa, I think it was a CD or it's a drive. Tapos, sinulatan niya lahat. Tapos, kaya doon nagsimula yung Assembly Generals. Dapat band nila ni Mon tsaka ni Switch. Pero nung nire-record namin yung album, sabi ni Switch, mag-drums ka na kaya? Tapos sabi niya, paano yung singer na babae? Kasi marami kami pinakantang babae. And Flying Ipis is also part of lockdown. Tapos sabi niya, kaya ni Deng lahat. So, kaya kasama si Deng. And eventually, it morphed into the current lineup of Switch, si Jigger, si Bass Relief, at si Peaceful Gemini. And please introduce our next guest for episode 57.
Sige, so yun nga, nabanggit mo na kanina, one of our very good friends na I've seen him for such a long time na ang galing niya talaga na magsulat ng salita tsaka mag-perform ng rap. From the vocalist of Miscellaneous and one of the 3 vocalists of Assembly Generals, please welcome. Two of Assembly Generals, please welcome Paolo Toledo or Switch for Offstage.
Pao,
Yo!
kumusta? Kumusta ka? Una,
Good.
anong pakiramdam mo?
A lot better. Ano na lang, I just have phlegm. I don't think it was COVID. I think it was really just flu and you know. Pero kasi nagkaroon si Michelle. Pero after New Year, kasakit si Michelle. And then one of the twins got a fever. Pero ang bilis lang, like after day nawala na. And then the other twin got it. A bit longer. And then ako yung last.
Okay.
But
Ilang araw ka naman down?
Just including yesterday, siguro mga 2.5 days.
Okay ka na?
Okay na. Yeah.
Nasa QC ka
I'm
ba?
at home now. I'm at QC now.
Okay.
Yeah. Kasi weekend We go home to QC weekends. We're trying. So tagig kami pag weekdays. And we try to go home to QC pag weekends.
Okay. Tapos, ito yung in-invite ka namin because Assembly Generals released a brand new single with our good friend Aris, aka Glock 9, called Tablan. Please tell us about it.
Well, anyway, hey Daren. Hindi pa ako nakakapag... Daren. Long time, bro.
Oo nga.
Long time.
Musta?
I miss your birthday.
Sana this year pwede na.
Wasakan yun, yung birthday ni Daren dyan, di ba?
I think I can, I don't know, it's a podcast, I can say it. Diba?
Pwede naman yan. Switch, kayo yata ni Michelle nagsara nung party di ba?
Like, every time I think about when was the last time I got really like shit-faced with like a mix, and not just alcohol, like a mix of stuff. I always remember his birthday. Like,
What
yep,
was
that
it?
was the last
2019, 2018?
20.
2018 yata.
2018.
2018 yata.
That was a good birthday. But yeah, no, Tablan. Yeah, actually, it's a song that's 2 years old. We were able to record it and write it, plan, record, and write it like in a span of just how many weeks right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit. But thankfully, nga, na-record lahat ng parts. The beat was there. Everything was, it was with you, Rayms. And we really just from there just figured out the mixing, the mastering, and the arrangement during, virtually. Like how and the good thing about assembly kasi sanay tayo sa ganun. We made our albums sort of the same way na we were able to pull off things even if our schedules didn't match, and we were able to do things virtually, you and me sending files to each other, and then just finding a schedule to meet up and knock everything out. Now, okay, this is how, let's do this, like this, like this, like that, because we already had it in our heads. So the same way with Tablan, everything was recorded, and everything was mixed and arranged virtually, and then it was just there. The song was just there.
Wait, I don't remember what came first. Did the beat come first? Did the idea of a collab come first? Or how many beats were you working with before you para eto gagawin ko tong Tablan? Because we sent each other parang
Yeah,
5 to 10 beats.
yeah.
Diba?
As far as I
Marami.
remember, it was the idea of a collaboration came first, because
Okay.
you mentioned that you got to talk to Aris, and he was like, oh, let's work on something, let's have fun, let's try something out. And then he told us, and then like, oh, sige, tara, planuhin natin. And then it became this bike date at
Oh
you.
yes.
Yeah, it was,
Daren, nag-meeting kami. Pag nagmi-meeting kami ng lockdown, either naglalakad kami sa UP kasi pre-pandemic or nagbabike.
Ah,
So ginagawa naming instead of meeting in a coffee shop, 'di ba? Parang ginagawa naming movement. So tama, inimbita
so,
natin siya mag-bike.
so inimbita natin siya mag-bike around UP, and of course Aris is a big bike head too. So he went. It was me, you, Jigger, and Aris, and Erica was there. But I think Mon di pa nakasama at the time because he was busy. But it was the four of us, and then yeah, I brought my bike. Jigger, I think borrowed the bike from you, and then nagbike tayo around. First time ko actually ma-meet si Aris that day.
hmm.
First time ko siya ma-meet, and gano'n, like we hit it off instantly, because another point of common ground sa amin is we both have twins. So, di ba kakapanganak lang ng twins, no? And he has twins who are a bit older. So, dun pa lang, dami na pinag-usapan. Actually, most of the conversations were not about music or hip hop at all. It was about, the biking, and about twins, and about having daughters, and allowing them to date and all of those things. So those yun, but yeah, that came first. So nagbike tayo, and then yun nga, and then it was really more about that, and kumain
Wala pa
tayo,
yung beat at the time.
pa yung beat, and then
Okay.
we just thought about, gawa tayong kanta, and batuhan na lang ng concept, but we'll pick a beat first. And then he said, yeah, sure, tara, gawin natin. We were so excited about it. So pagbalik sa mga bahay, di ba? I think the same week, parang you sent me like, oh no, you asked me for pegs. Like you asked me for like, what sound do you have in mind, and then I just, I don't know, I just had this idea, I just wanted something that was a bit aggressive. A bit aggressive, but not angry. I want something with balls, and you know, and this was, you know, pre-pandemic and everything, you know. I just wanted something with balls and with grit, but not angry, and something that would just allow me, Nicole, and Aris to just bounce off and write off each other without worrying about, you know, anything melodic and anything, you know, any other type of flow. Just head nodding, you know, fuck the world type of shit. So yeah, so I think, and then you came back with I think like yeah, five to seven beats in a folder, and then, you know, we narrowed it down to one. I said, ito yun. And then we let the other guys see it, and they were like, yep, that's it. That's it. Let's send it to Glock. But I think when we sent it to Glock, we already had the hook in mind. So because when you sent me the beat, talagang for some reason that was the line that I heard repeating in my head. Hindi ako tinatablan, hindi ako tinatablan, hindi ako tinatablan. And dun siya nanggaling. Dun siya nag-start. And that's how I sort of had the concept. So that's all we had. Sent it to Glock. This is the beat. The hook, we keep on hearing, di ako tinatablan, di ako tinatablan. We put some initial lines in there na what if ganito, yada, 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 di
Did you
ako.
send me the hook by phone?
Yeah, recorded it on, because that's, I mean, that's how I got used to sending you stuff, I guess. Di ba, parang whenever I had a hook idea for assembly, I'd play the beat in the car, play it loud enough para narinig siya sa phone, but at the same time, I'll record my voice in the phone while in traffic. So that's how I record the demos. That's how we record the demos, send it to Rayms. Rayms ganito. Sometimes Rayms uses the actual recording on the phone as the backing track. Sometimes it's the backing track or the track. But yeah, for Tablan, ganon. He sent it to Glock. Then he came back with his own lines for the hook. It's like, oh, what if ganito yung ibang linya ng hook? And then I basically parang in-integrate ko siya doon sa sinulat ko. And then it became the hook that we used. So that's all we had. All we had was the hook. And then ang usapan namin, the three of us, me, Nicole, and Glock, was, you know, we'll set a recording day. We'll go to Rayms' studio. You know, may mga baon kami. Magbaon kayong like 2 bars each. Then whoever's ready to record the first 2 bars records, writes out 4 bars. The next MC writes on the spot, coming from those first 4 bars, writes on the spot what are the next 4 bars, and so on and so forth. So that's what happened. And then yun nga, again, that was a really, really cool day, yung recording day na yun for me. And I'm pretty sure for Nicole as well, as the youngest member. For me, it's because, you know, first time ever recording with Aris. To see him work his magic, you know, live. And you get the best You get the best already. Nakita mo kung paano magsulat yung tao. Nakita mo kung paano siya mag-record. You know, and then you get to write with him and record with him at the same time. So galing. And then you know, to have Rayms pa there capturing everything was pretty cool experience. You know, I didn't want to show it on that day how starstruck and you know, giddy I was, but I was like, this is pretty cool, galing. And I picked up a lot from watching him, and watching him pa like coach Nicole on how to like, what if you end.
Troubleshooting, ano?
Yeah,
Troubleshooting
galing.
phrases. Sobrang galing.
Like, what if, you know, bawasan natin tong like one part if by one syllable and it would fit better, and then he would come in and say, you know, okay na yan. Tatapusin ko yung bar na yan. And then he'd come in with just like half a bar and finish it off, and like, wow, di ko naisip yun. Ang galing. Yeah, that was. So that's basically what happened. And that all happened right before, like a month before, and then COVID happened. And then The song was just there. And we didn't want to release it. Just na ganon. Parang we always tried to wait it out and see, how can we shoot a video for this? Or at least how can we do a live performance of this, But yun nga, lockdown after lockdown happened, it became so hard for us to figure it out. Until now, until we cracked the way to do it. So yeah, yun yung kwento ng Tablan. And it's still relevant, diba? 2 years down the road with all the lockdowns, I feel it's still relevant. And it's always going to be relevant to remind people that they, whatever it is, bato-bato man yan sa langit, salita mo ng mga tao. Diba? Hindi tayo tinatablan ng mga yan. So yun.
Sabi ko nga kay Rayms, parang you're one of the best. Like yung lyrics mo, tagus talaga. Tapos, lalo na when you perform it, parang talagang, for me, I really believe in what you're saying. So, let's go back to, while you were growing up. When did you find the passion for writing and performing? So, was that in you early on?
High school. It wasn't in me early on. I was never, because my family is not a musical family. I wasn't. They were more athletic. I wasn't raised on on instruments. My dad loved music. He had a lot of records, and that's where a lot of my records came from. But he was more of a rock guy. He was the one who introduced me to Steely Dan and Hall and Oates, that type of music. No? But on hip hop, yeah, it was all self. But it came from that. That my diving into hip hop. So when I was in, I think, grade 4, I heard Warren G's Regulate. Heard Warren G's Regulate. Automatically, I said, I know this song. Why do I know this song? And then I was listening to it. And then I bought, that was my very first cassette tape. Saved money, bought the cassette tape in Odyssey. I had to flip the cover para hindi makita yung explicit warning ng parents ko. Then I played it in my dad's car. Played it in the car. And then he answered the question. He's like, kaya mo alam yung kanta na yan. Because I have this tape. And he played Michael McDonald.
Wow.
And then he's like, that's why you know this song, because I played this. I always play this in the car. So then I learned about sampling. Like, okay, so that's what hip hop guys do. That's what these guys do. Okay. So from there on, but when I got into high school, I had classmates who were really, parang kasi growing up in school, kasi all my friends were rock heads or metal heads. And then, it was cool too. I got to learn a lot about that type of music. And then finally in high school, I got to connect with hip-hop heads. Konti lang kasi in school at the time, yung mga hip-hop heads. Got to connect with them, and they were the ones who taught me about. Before kasi my hip-hop was very local and my international hip-hop was very mainstream. When I got to connect with these guys in high school, sila yung nagpakilala sa akin ng mga conscious rap, mga underground hip-hop, di ba? Like Black Star, and Mos Def and Pharaoh Monch and all of these guys. So dun ko nakita, parang I like this like jazzy type of hip hop better. I like what kasi I could never connect with gangster rap. I love gangster rap. I grew up West Coast, Tupac, diba? Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. But I could never connect to it because that wasn't my life. I wasn't a gangster, And I wouldn't. I couldn't. It was a cool life, but I could never connect. But then I heard the conscious rap and how they were writing, a very poetic style, and then very spiritual. Sabi ko, I could get that even more. And then I like the beats more too. So in high school, that's when I tried. But the interesting is, hindi yun yung nag-trigger sa akin mag-try magsulat ng rap. Interesting enough, ang nag-trigger sa akin was Incubus. Weird, no? was Incubus. When I heard the Science album of Incubus,
Ah.
and I heard, Brandon Boyd sort of scatting and rapping
Yes.
very, very in a very weird way and very abstract things, di ba? I'm like, oh, pwede pala yun. Pwede ka palang mag-rap na ganyan yung pinag-uusapan mo. And then I heard, of course, Rage Against the Machine. And era kasi yan ng rap metal di ba? And I heard Rage Against the Machine and more political, more that type of rap. And yun nga, suddenly bumuka yung ano ko na, oh, then I can really talk about all these different things and whatever I want to talk about. And then, okay. So that's when I started writing, but it was all private. I get instrumentals from Napster. I download instrumentals from Napster and write my own lyrics to it. There's also a time when that summer I studied drums for just one summer. I studied playing drums. Then my drum teacher told me, bili kang drum machine para makapag-practice ka sa bahay. So okay, so I bought this Yamaha drum machine. Forgot the model, right? Very basic thing. And then I suddenly found out from reading all these hip-hop magazines that that's how producers produced also using drum machines. But sila MPC, syempre. But, I found out how DJ Premier, Dr. J, and the RZA produced their beats on this drum machine. So sabi ko, may machine din naman ako baka pwede rin. But syempre, yung sa akin couldn't sample. Puro whatever was preloaded. So I tried then making my own beats on that drum machine and then writing to those beats. So doon nagsimula lahat. But none of that was recorded because I didn't have any means of recording anything. And so yeah, that's where it all started. Until it came to a point I got so into it that I think I borrowed a microphone or a tape recorder from my classmate. Then I did the same thing. I played it, recorded rapping. So meron akong demo na I don't know, for some reason, like my mom worked in the same building as Rock Records at the time. It's called Rock Records. And this is going way past your question now, but it's connected. So I gave my mom the demo. I was like, hey, can you give this to that record label in your building and see if, what they think about it? Like, okay, ganyan. And then they were like, oh, they want to meet you, but you have to like do it live in front of them. You have to like do, oh, okay. Sige, fine. So I did that. And then, I went to one afternoon, did that. There was a girl that came after me. And then days after, and she did the same thing. I didn't see what she did. Days after, my mom said, hey, okay, so the guys talked to me and they said, they apologized, but they had to go with the girl. Basically, they signed the girl,
Can I guess?
Yeah. It's
Is it
not
chill?
No.
No. Okay. Sorry.
It was a hip hop act.
Okay. Hindi hip hop. Okay.
It was a hip hop act. Later on, I found out that girl was between Escalante. So I'm like, okay, now I get why she got signed. Okay. But yeah, so but then from that point on, parang dun na nagkaroon dun na yun na plant yung seed na, hey, parang I like doing this, I like making this type of music, and that was high school. When I got to college, I got to be blockmates with more hip hop heads, and eventually which became Miscellaneous. And that even solidified more na, parang, yeah, I really like doing this. Even if I don't see this as like my career or like something I'd earn from, but I just like doing this because, and this type of hip hop, this type of music.
Tell us about the members of Miscellaneous.
Like how we all got together and met.
Oh, yun. And then who everyone is to you?
Miscellaneous kasi was already there before I joined.
Ah.
Nung high school kami lahat, si Tibbs, si Steven Vea, and si Jeric Steve, rest in peace. They were blockmates, they were classmates in high school. Ako
Sorry,
ibang class,
high
ibang
school.
class ako.
Anong high
Ha?
school? Sorry. Anong high school?
In Ateneo. We were
Ateneo.
all Ateneans. Ganyan sa Ateneo parang you really stick to your classmates. So ibang klase ako, ibang class sila. But sila, they already, syempre, high school, they already formed Miscellaneous.
Sino una? Si
Silang
Kev
dalawa.
tsaka si
Si Steve, si Tibbs, tsaka si Jerry.
Tibbs tsaka si Jeric. Okay.
Silang
So
dalawa.
that's
They were both rapping. No one was producing yet. They did the same
okay.
thing I was doing. They were downloading beats online. They would rap. And I remember their first song, and they have a demo of this that I don't have a copy, was called Conyo Killers. That was their first song. So syempre, ganun naman kayo lahat. We start off, we have no idea. We just write, your first gateway drug talaga into hip hop is braggadocio, and being all like gangstered up, being all gangstered up. So their first song was Conyo Killers, and then from there, si Tibbs learned about Fruity Loops and Cakewalk, and he started getting into producing, and that's how he got it. So silang dalawa, and then CeeLo was Tibbs's brother-in-law, and CeeLo was already, but CeeLo was in Thailand, came home to the Philippines. He was rolling with his own crew of rappers in his batch, but then si Tibbs got him to like spit a few verses on Miscellaneous stuff, and then eventually silang tatlo, and then they met me in college. Me and si Marco is our member. His name is Passion. So kaming dalawa, we joined. So naging lima kami. That's how we were in college. So Tibbs was producing everything, and then Jeric was scratching, and then the four of us were rapping. But no gigs. It was all recording stuff. And then Kev is Tibbs' first cousin. So eventually, we said, oh, sige, perform. We did school shows, performing stuff for school around Katipunan area. And yun nga, si Kev kasi was part of, at the time, Head On Productions. And they were the ones organizing a lot of the hip-hop events around Katipunan and Libis, the battles. So he told us, oh, perform. Sige, guys, open one of our shows and everything. So we performed, and people really, I guess they really liked it. They dug it. So, and then Kev also dug it. And he was like, we invited him. You want to come on board? And he was like, yeah, he was so down for it. And and that sort of completed the equation at the time, because that was the missing piece for someone to bounce off Tibbs in the production side. Because me and CeeLo were bouncing off each other on the lyrical side. Tibbs has needed someone else to bounce off him in the production side, and that
I
was.
think I met you in Katipunan. That's where I met you.
Yeah, I think so too, Rayms. I think
ano yung bar ni Tim? Sa second floor or third floor?
Third floor. Yep.
Third floor.
Of Bite Club.
Tama. Tapos si Jigger introduced me to you guys. Didn't
Yeah.
introduce you as Miscellaneous. But you guys had a cipher.
Yeah.
Somebody was DJing.
Yeah.
And you guys were just, di ba, parang 16 bars.
Yeah.
Or how long.
Yeah.
Galing nun.
Yeah, I
Sino
think
nandun at the time? Because I can't remember everybody.
Usually,
I know you were there.
Usually kasi the people, it was us. Guys from Ampon would be there.
Ampon.
So sina Khalif,
Tama.
Sina Arik, sina Enigma, would be there. Guys from Audible would be there. So yeah, kasi yun the Katipunan boys would be around. And yeah, and Kev's homies, sina Ace, RB would be there.
DJ RB1. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone would be there. So yeah, so it was really a lot of random hip hop heads, and not just hip hop heads. A lot of musicians would hang out there then, because after gigs doon ang puntahan ng mga musicians at the time.
Yeah. But even us.
Yeah, even
It
you.
was partly owned by Tim Cacho of
Yeah,
Imago.
exactly. So and Tim's partner naman was Kev's barkada, and that's why the hip hop guys were there also. So that's why everyone sort of met there.
For the hip hop heads, si
Yeah,
Kevin is now or has been the videographer of
Flip Top. Yeah.
Flip Top
Yep.
for the longest time, right? Does he
So
edit it?
yeah. So after Miscellaneous, I mean when Miscellaneous sort of took a break, and we all did our own thing. Kev's next thing was Flip Top. He founded Flip Top with Enigma. So Enigma started just a small battle in Quantum Cafe in Makati, Jupiter. And he just invited, hey Kev, you want to film this battle? Wala lang, film lang natin for like, wala lang. Post it
And Kev is a film student at the time.
And Kev was really a film student. He studied in Cebu. He was classmates with sina Paco Raterta. So Kev's really, really, really good with the visuals. So he brought his camera, filmed it, and then the rest was history.
So lahat na pinapanood nila sa YouTube.
Si Kev yun.
Si Kevin.
But Kev also has second cams. Like for a while,
As a team.
si Jeric was a second cam. Of course, Kev would get tired. He needed someone else to back him up on the camera.
Si Kev also directed one of our videos.
Yeah, Kev did Contrabida.
Contrabida, yes.
Yeah. And then, which is exactly why I wanted him to do it. Because I know how good he was, his eye was, plus the song really fit him and what his background was. So yun. So yeah. So that's so that's how Miscellaneous happened. And then very, very last member was si Ajax. And that's the most interesting story. Si Ajax, he was this underground battle champion. Like he killed everyone. But he always watched our gigs because he didn't have a band, he didn't have a producer. He was just there for the battle rapping and ciphers. He'd always watch Miscellaneous gigs kasi kilala niya ako kasi classmate ko siya ng grade 5. So he'd come to the Miscellaneous gigs and say, "Pao, nood akong gig." Okay, yeah. And then we go into the battle rap events, and then si Tibbs and Silo would join. And then funny thing is, Tibbs and Silo would meet each other at the finals. Sila palagi yung finalist. But then this one time, they met Ajax, and then Ajax sort of like, it was, I think, si Tibbs versus Nathan J, Silo versus Ajax. Silo. Tibbs beat Nathan J. So it was Ajax and Tibbs in the finals. Ajax sort of killed Tibbs. They were both super good, but Ajax killed Tibbs. And then we were all like, oh, grabe, galing na tong guy na to. We were all hanging out in the parking lot. He approached us. And then he hung out with us. And then, and then just there and there, we was like, hey, you wanna do some songs with Miscellaneous? He was like, yeah, it's a game. And then yun na. Then dire-diretso na. So all our songs that were already there, we just added him. So we added one more verse to every song. Kaya humaba yung mga kanta namin. We just added, no, we want you on this song. We want you on this song. So, and yeah, so we ended up, being like 7, 8 members. But then suddenly, si Passion, si Marco retired. And then Ajax had to go to the States. Tibbs moved to Boracay. And then, and
Silo became a professional
focused on his wakeboarding and then
Wakeboarder.
representing the Philippines first, and then put up his own wake park.
Alin yung wake
There,
park niya, yung sa Clark?
yeah, Deca Wake Park,
Deca.
Clark. Yeah, that's Silo's Wake
We
Park.
played there, no, di ba?
Yeah, we played there. He always still tries to get us to play there. No, we played. No, we played for his events twice, Rayms. One with you, one without you. The one you played in was in Pradera. That wasn't his park yet.
Okay.
The gig we played at Deca, we were with T-Mac. You weren't
Oh,
able
yeah.
to make it. You were with T-Mac. But yeah, so and then Jeric went to the States, but unfortunately, he passed away in the States. And then so me and Kev were the ones in Manila. Kev was busy with Flip Top, and I was doing assembly. So, but and now we're all basically at the same stage, and that's how Miscellaneous was. All live, few recorded stuff, but everything was live, and then you had to watch us live to know us, because there was no any recorded documentation.
What were your favorite venues to play
As Miscellaneous?
as Miscellaneous?
As Miscellaneous? Oh man. The thing about Miscellaneous is we're very, very particular. Maarte kami because very maarte kami because yung setup namin kakaiba, and hindi pa laging sanay yung mga venue sa setup namin na dalawang MPC tas dalawang turntable. So they could never get it right how to mix hip-hop vocals with MPCs na isa drums, isa samples, tapos may scratching. So we were very, very, we would never, I guess we would never be perfectly happy with a venue, but we always liked playing in, of course, Sagiho, because of the atmosphere. God, where did we get to play?
I've seen you everywhere, from malls, Cubao X.
Cubao, yeah, we
Cubao
like
X is
Cubao.
always good.
Yeah, we like Cubao.
You guys always killed in Cubao X.
Like Cubao. We played malls.
Magnet.
We played Magnet. Played Fet Intramuros, Fet El Pueblo. Yeah, that Fet El Pueblo one was a good gig. I think kami, and then SVC after kayo after SVC. That was a good one. I forgot the name of the bar, but it was one of those. But yeah, but I guess, yeah, you're right. It's Cubao X and Sagiho for us, as Miscellaneous.
Maiba naman. Tell us about, I've never asked you this. Tell us about your toys.
No.
Behind you.
Yeah.
How did it start? And how is it going?
This side started 2000, ano pa yan? 2007. So I started collecting vinyl toys, designer toys, art toys. So the same stuff that would be seen in Secret Fresh. I was there nung pinakauna pang Secret Fresh, nung nasa tabi pa siya nung GMA 7. Toy store pa lang siya. And that's where I met Big Boy, and I buy toys from him, and he invite me to his house and invite open the toys there para makita niya kung ano yung nakuha kong toys. And then we'd bond over DJing also, because I was already DJing then, he was starting to DJ. So that side. This side, yung mga may ilaw na yan, that was all a product of the pandemic.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Talaga?
2020 yan until today. Because those are all action figures. What
is your ano yung genre mo for collecting? What do you look out for?
Well, right now, before kasi it was all like whatever vinyl toys that I like. Yung mga I like scary looking ones, yung bloody ones.
Sorry, lang when you say vinyl toys, what does that exactly mean?
Those are yung mga like you know yung mga the ones that are not posable. The ones that yung mga bear bricks, the bear bricks and
Yes.
like Funko Pops. Funko Pops
Yes.
are vinyl toys. So those aren't posable. They're more designer toys. Sculptures, sina Cos, you know, that
Yes,
those
yes,
are
yes,
those are
yes,
all art
yes.
toys.
Ito, di ba?
Yes.
Ito.
Yan, that's a vinyl toy.
Yes, yes.
Ito yung dinodrawingan, di ba?
Yeah, that's a blank version of it.
Kay Big Boy din galing to eh.
So,
Wow.
so I started off with those things. But then I stopped for, you know, especially when I got busy with Miscellaneous, with DJing, and then with assembly, I stopped. And then I also had a collection of music-inspired toys. So yan, Gorillas, Run DMC, hip-hop toys. Meron din ako.
May Run DMC patingin. Sorry, nakakabinet ba?
No. Let me... Oh, hold on. Can I move out of...
Go ahead, go
Ah,
ahead.
yeah. Grabe, ang dami. Solid. Grabe yung pandemic lang nag-start yung glass case. Ang galing.
Yeah. But those are all kasi action figures na. Those aren't vinyl toys. Those are all like, you know, Marvel action figures.
Where do you buy? Green Hills?
Online, resellers, who also have shops in Green Hills. Green Hills kasi the last time I was there was also before the pandemic. So hindi na ako nakatungtong sa Mecca. It's still the Mecca of toys.
Talaga?
But you know, I've never been there since the pandemic happened. But everyone who I interact with and trust and became my friends were all shop owners from So yeah, so I really can't unwrap it right now, but that's a run.
Wow.
You know, that's a run.
Talagang naka-bubble wrap.
Yeah, naka-bubble wrap because I don't have a way to display them yet. So that's 1, 2.
Jam Master J.
And yeah, this is Jam Master J.
Okay, Switch, we need an assembly doll, no?
Di ba may e-heads na doll? Di ba, Rayms, meron
Oh,
kayo?
sina Bigs gumawa nun. Sina Big Boy nag-release niyan, Secret Fresh. Meron ding may sandwich toy din and may pedicab rin.
Talaga?
I think we need an assembly one.
Worry. I mean, that's also on my bucket list for us.
We should do it.
We'll find, you know, I will find
a way.
No, now that I'm also back into collecting toys, I'm meeting a lot of people and they also know the band and I'm pretty sure someone would throw us an idea and I'm hoping someone would collaborate on a toy. That would be super cool. But yeah, ito I have Beavis and Butthead toys.
Wow. Sobrang angas.
So yeah, I have a so this is very, I really can't open it also, but it's a Snoop Dogg doll.
Wow.
Yun nga, hindi ko pa mabuksan tong mga to kasi I don't have a way to display them yet. So
Are they going to the new place? You have a new place, right?
Wow.
Oh no, the new place is actually smaller. So the toys stay here.
In QC.
In QC, yeah.
Okay, we know where to get them.
Baka yung QC place mo maging toys na lang talaga lahat. Yan na next.
Like this room. This room used to be the nursery. Used to also be my DJ room. Now it's more a toy room than a music room. I mean, the DJ stuff is still, well, it's here behind the laptop. The DJ stuff is still there, and this is also still where I record my demo.
I see the mic, yeah. I've never been to your place pala.
Yeah, you have.
Dapat magbabike tayo eh. Pero
yeah,
nung huli tayong nagkita recently, dapat magbabike tayo pero nagka-Omicron.
Yeah.
Pao, before we let you go, tell us about the video that we released.
Oh,
kasi sinikret nyo yun eh. Sinikret nyo yun sa amin eh.
That was cool. Okay,
parang nalaman na lang namin a week before i-release na may ginawa ka pala.
Yeah, kasi nga, di ba, we tried during 2020 and 2021, we actually had like 2 or 3 efforts where we tried to brainstorm and try to see how we can shoot a video for Tablan without either getting together, or when we could start getting together, hindi naman lahat could get together. So it was very hard. There were a lot of plans na laging naka-cancel,
Mhm.
push back. So for me personally, it felt like really this like monkey on my back na I need to get this song out. I want to get this song out, but I want to get it out properly, like how we planned it with visuals. So it was always bothering me, and then I one day I think I was on in traffic. I was driving on an errand, on a lockdown errand. Lockdown meaning lockdown grocery. Nag-grocery ako. And then I was on Spotify. And you know how Spotify now has the artworks, right? How it plays video artworks. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was listening to uh, sino nga ba to? Anderson Paak and
Bruno Mars?
no, the other producer. Oh, name escapes me now, but yeah, anyway, his videos, I noticed that his videos were sort of like these animated videos, very distinct style, that were just scenes on loop. And that manonood, para siyang may ASMR effects. Na pag nanonood ka, parang you just get hypnotized, and it doesn't distract you from the music. Parang you get to feel the music more kasi you let the visuals just loop eh. Hindi tulad ng kapag yung visuals, ang bigat din ng kwento, then may kanta ng bigat din. Parang it's like a sensory overload for you. Like, what am I focusing on? So I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. And that's what we always said with Tablan. Eh. We wanted just the bars to just like be the hero of this song, like bar after bar. So I'm like, what if we just do this, And I found out that these videos were artists collaborating with visual artists, and thankfully, we're very close to one of the very best visual artists we have locally, who is Ray's Hell, who's done a lot of work for Lockdown, for Assembly. So I got in touch with her, and she's also the godmother of the twins, like you, Rayms. So got in touch with her and said, hey, okay, have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? And she's like, hindi ko pa nagawa yan. You want to try it? I know you're busy, but you want to try it? Subukan natin. So everything is collaboration. We collaborated with Glock 9 on the song, but for the visuals, we collaborate with Ray's Hell. And then she was like, sige, game. But my condition is you have to wait for it because it's going to be very hard, to do it frame by frame, and just a few seconds of this is going to take so long, and to render it, like, we're in lockdown, we have all the time in the world, but keep it between us. When you're ready, let me know. I want to surprise the band with it. I don't want to tell them the plans because every time we plan something, hindi natutuloy. So
Pati si Jigger hindi niya alam.
Hindi alam ni Jigger. So me, Ray Salad, but I called in Lloyd. I needed Lloyd. I needed bass relief.
Bass relief. For what?
I needed his ideas also on the visual because I needed someone who knew editing, and I needed someone who knew the musicality of Assembly. So I needed Lloyd. Lloyd, what do you think of this? Kaya ba natin to? And he's like, yep, great idea. Let's do it. Razel, bato mo lang sa akin yung artwork mo, your animation, and I'll just put our song over it.
I will add a link in the description for that Raise Hell video.
Yeah. And to the guys, listening to this, if you guys wanna, please follow.
Check it out.
her.
Also,
Check out
Pao,
Instagram. You'd really, really be amazed at what this girl does.
I was searching for files or backing up files Kasi January na, 'di ba?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
found, like, you know this, I found footage of Daren, nahanap ko yung footage nung recording.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I put up a GoPro but never really checked the footage. And it was the whole recording. So I cut a video of that, like a simple video. So I'm releasing that as well next week after this episode. So check it out. Pau,
That, that
great to
was
see you.
that was pretty cool, Rayms. That was so cool. I mean, it was cool for me because I didn't know you were recording.
I forgot. I totally forgot.
And then for me to see when you shared us that link, for me to parang na-relive sa akin yung araw na yun. How cool that day was.
Kasi naglalakad-lakad lang kayo with the phone, 'di ba?
Yeah, galing, galing.
What's your last line? Tapos ganito,
Yeah.
tapos okay, sulatin ko 'yan. Tapos
Oh,
Nicole had a laptop, si Glock 9 was behind you,
yeah,
writing his line, and he'd be pacing around, 'di ba? Tapos nagjo-joke.
yeah. That was galing, galing.
Anyway,
I'm
great
so happy you captured that. Thank you.
great to see you, Pao.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And hope to see you again soon. Mayroon pa tayong bike date ni na Mon.
And
Daren, sumama ka na, mag-ano kami, magcha-Chinatown eh.
Sige, sige.
oh, Daren, kain tayo. Masyado ka nang pumapayat.
Pwede ako
Oo nga eh.
mag-translate sa China.
Ay, mas
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Mas okay yun. Nabudol kasi kami ni Doc Picoy eh.
Yeah. Daren, you better go. I miss your ass, dude.
Sige bro, I'll see you soon.
Hindi, ganito na lang, Switch. Kailangan din natin pala pumunta kay na Daren.
Oh my
Pag after ng surge, tara.
Oh,
After
yung mga
ng
pupunta
search.
kay na Daren, natuto na ako. I will bring sleepover clothes because like
Alam mo yan, yung huling episode namin live sa bahay ni Daren, sinama namin si Echo Del Rio.
Yeah, yeah.
Daren 3 araw daw siyang nakahiga eh, afternoon. After 4 hours 4 hours yata natin ni-record yung episode eh. It was divided, I cut it into 3 episodes kasi yung 1 hour wala na kaming sense eh.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was
Thank
super-
you, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Keep safe, everybody. Keep safe.
Oo. Salamat.
Say hi to Michelle and the twins. It's like
Hey, guys.
bye.